So we asked you what questions you had for Wii U. We've got your questions here, and these two experts here are going to attempt to answer them. So first up, Daniel.
Yes.
Stephen G. Mann asks, does it play DVDs? It's not a deal breaker, but he just wants to know.
Not a deal breaker, but sadly it doesn't play DVDs. It's something we kind of already knew, but just to test it, I put a DVD in earlier, and on the home menu it just says invalid disc.
That's a bit lame, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't even play DVDs.
Because presumably it reads.
Yeah,
high
there's just
density
no
discs.
reason why it shouldn't play DVDs.
Yeah.
Puzzling.
Harry Ashfield asks, does the screen on the controller distract you when you're playing games?
Only when it is supposed to. Like when you're playing Zombie U, you're trying to look at the screen, then it's supposed to distract you from what's going on there. That's part of the game's kind of atmosphere and part of its conceit. Otherwise, no, it doesn't really. I mean, when you've only got a map on it or whatever, then it's just looking down and up.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of superfluous, though, to be honest. I mean, it's sort of the same as if you ever glance at your mini-map, you just look at the bottom left of the screen, and you just look down and up, and it's momentary, so it doesn't distract you.
Like in the future, I can foresee maybe some developers maybe using it unwisely, and therefore it becoming a distraction.
Getting to
if
the
they
point
try
where you're
to
like walking into a
crowbar
wall,
it in, I think.
and you're just standing in the middle of an arena death matching, looking for where your weapon select is. That would be
ultimately. I think that might happen more in games that are ported across. So you've made a game that's tailored to a traditional controller setup, and then you're going, well, we really should make use of the gamepad functionality. You feel obliged to, and that's when it becomes intrusive.
Yeah. Anything for I'm worried about loadouts. I'm worried that people are going to be like, do you want to change weapons? Look at the bottom screen. And we're not going to bother pausing it for you while you do that. Whereas, if you use any kind of normal menu, you start it to pause, Can you imagine Skyrim's menu system on that, where you're just standing there in the middle of a field with a dragon flying over you, just like, oh, where's my new sword? It's not going to work.
In Borderlands 2, when you go to the menu screens, it doesn't pause the game.
Actually, in some games, well, in Demon's Souls it doesn't either.
But it doesn't matter because Borderlands 2 is not coming to Wii,
it's true,
as it came out today. So, how long does it take to recalibrate the gamepad, asks Keith Austin.
Well, you put it down, and it says, please put it down, and you manage that, and it's about maybe 1 or 2 seconds. It doesn't take long at all. It's not like the Wii Motion Plus, which used to take a good 4 or 5 seconds.
He also asks, can you switch off the gamepad if you're only playing with like the Pro controllers or the Wii controllers to save on battery life?
Yes. You tap.
Simple answer.
you tap the power button down here.
Yeah, I think
that puts it onto standby.
I think you do want to be slightly power conscious with the gamepad because it lasts for about 3.5 hours. So you know if you're playing in your home, you might as well leave the AC connector.
Might as well leave it connected, but then it's not wireless, is it?
Yeah.
But if you want to go to bed and play Mario as advertised, then you've got about 3.5 hours worth on it.
Yeah. Daniel, does it have backwards compatibility to play old games? Asks Anthony Dabor.
How old are you talking?
Well, he just says Nintendo games.
Okay, so you can play Wii games.
Yeah.
But not anything before then.
So you can't play GameCube games, but you can play anything that you downloaded via the Virtual Console?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
If you need to know how to transfer over your Virtual Console stuff, then we've got a guide for that on the IGN Wiki.
There you go.
Right.
So Thomas Matthew Yates asks, will PAL Wii U's come with the day one patch already preloaded onto the system?
Unfortunately, no. We've got ours connected right now. It's patch free currently, so it's probably going to be a wait an hour situation like they had in the US.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're able to play games at the moment on it, but we can't do anything else because of the day one
no
patch.
Love Film, no
Netflix, no YouTube, etc.
No video chat, which is sad. We were going to try that out.
Yeah. So another question, IKEA-chan, I believe that's his name or her name. Will it hold up to the new next gen?
I guess it depends what you want from a games console. I think in terms of power, the next console from Microsoft and Sony is probably going to blow this out of the water slightly.
Sheer grunt.
In terms of processing power, but innovation, we just don't know. And what I would say about this, because obviously we're comparing games that are on bridging consoles at the moment. Yeah. This is a console that's at the beginning of its life cycle. The Xbox and the PlayStation are right at the end of theirs. Developers know how to get the most out of those consoles. There's a lot of unrealised potential in that little black box. And we've had so much fun playing 5-player Nintendo Land. I've not had that experience on the next gen console, current gen console for quite a while.
And I doubt we'll have that experience on the next gen console. Like, we're not going to have a Nintendo Land on them. And we're not going to have a Halo on this, let's be honest here.
So it's for and against. I think it ultimately comes down to is what do you want from a games console?
Also, do you like Nintendo games? Because if you like Nintendo games, then buy it. Obviously, if it's not worth buying a whole console for Nintendo games for you, then think about it a bit more.
So on a similar topic, Cassio Magales asks, I only want Zombie U. Is it worth buying a console purely for that?
Well, it's arguable whether you should buy a console for any specific game, because that's a whole lot of money to shell out for one game.
It's a lot. Is Zombie U worth £350?
What we can say, I think, as we said in the game section, that it's probably the greatest sort of demonstration of the Wii U's unique hardware.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm really keen to find out here is whether it's going to turn out like the Wii, i.e. the first wave of games for it is actually the most interesting and the most interested in using motion control, and then after that it's just that everyone's going to get lazy. I mean, Zombie U is a great start, and I think it's actually really effective. It's not even that, oh, it's a good idea. No, it's really, really good, and it works very well for me. So, I mean, I just hope we see more of that, and we don't just see people doing lazy ports or Nintendo only doing their games, because although Nintendo games are great, you want a flavour of something else. Nintendo could never have made Zombie U, for instance.
Dan Upton asks, does it incorporate any kind of trophy or achievement system?
No, it doesn't. No. Well, within individual games you might unlock certain achievements, but they're not kind of system-wide. You won't get a cumulative score.
Nintendo Land's got little trophies and medals and stuff, but the only kind of unifying game tracker that you've got on the Wii U is your daily activity log, which is like it was on the Wii and on the 3DS.
And then final question from the Cockney Charmer, what's the video streaming like?
We don't know yet. This is the honest answer, we just don't know, because we're playing this obviously before it's officially launched in the UK, so we haven't done our system updates, so we can't get online with anything.
As soon as the Wii U is out in the UK, we will have a special video just detailing how you use YouTube, Netflix, all of it, and
so
video stream.
It does come with Love Film, Netflix and YouTube on the main menu.
We don't get Hulu.
No,
the Americans.
BBC iPlayer, I don't think it's been confirmed just yet, but I guess it's inevitable.
There's been reports. I think we can safely say that iPlayer and 4OD and the like are on their way.
But the moment that day one patch goes live, we will update it with a video, and we'll give you the very latest here on IGN.